A much-discussed new article in The Atlantic raises a huge question. Is marriage all it's made out to be? Ray Romano made his case for marriage on his long-running sitcom. But in The Atlantic, Mandy Len Catron offers a different take. Her article is called What You Lose When You Gain a Spouse. She says marriage can weaken other social ties with friends and family, leading to feelings of loneliness. More than 1 million people have read the piece on the magazine's website. Mandy Len Catron joins us now. Mandy, good morning.
Morning.
So you're now getting emails from people asking you for marriage advice.
Well, occasionally.
What do you tell them?
You know, I don't necessarily feel comfortable giving people advice, but I do.
You have in this article, they're going to take this. People are making life choices based on this.
I know. No, but I do think we tend to think that marriage is the right way to live your life and the best way to live your life, and I wanted to push back against that. And I wanted to suggest that while there are many benefits, there are also some costs, and I don't think we talk about those costs very often.
So what are the costs?
Well, so one of the things that I came across in the research, and the thing that really surprised me, is that marriage can be really socially alienating. Oh. And they've done this study, and basically they've looked across different demographic groups. They've controlled for socioeconomic status, race, all these different things, and they find that people who are married, and in particular people who are married without children, tend to have fewer social ties than those who are married. And that manifests in lots of ways, like they have fewer friends, they're less likely to care for aging parents, they're less likely to ask for help from their neighbors or offer help in return. So I thought that was important.
Are you married?
I am not.
Okay. Are you in a relationship?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Long-standing?
Yeah, we've been together about 5 years.
Because I think people are thinking, so what are your qualifications? But the fact that you're in a relationship means that you can speak to this issue. Because when you said marriage can make people lonely, I think you can be lonely if you're in a bad marriage. I don't know too many people who are in a good marriage that feel lonely. Doesn't that matter, the type of marriage that you're in?
It definitely matters, but like I would say my own relationship is a really important part of my life. It's very happy.
Yeah.
I feel deeply invested in it, and yet one of the things I noticed when my partner moved in with me is that suddenly I got fewer invitations. Like people called less often. When they asked me to hang out, they asked both of us, and I felt a real loss of those relationships that I had cultivated while I was single.
Well, because they probably think that you're busy.
Yeah, but I'm still
me. But you're saying you're still you. I love it. In the article you said love is the marrow of life, and that sometimes often people attempt to funnel it into the narrow channels prescribed by marriage and the nuclear family. Yeah. You're saying there's many different kinds of love, is what I hear you saying.
Essentially what I argue in the article, and what I feel really strongly about is, it's clear that only a relatively small percentage of people are married, and of those people, relatively small percentage. Like, I think it's roughly about half of people over age 18 are married, and then a certain percentage of those are going to be happily married. And, there are lots of people who aren't married for whatever reason. It's not working for them, but they have really important forms of intimacy in their lives, and we don't celebrate those or support those in the same way that we support marriage.
And we should, you think?
I think we should.
Yeah. It's a really thought-provoking article.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of response.
You sure are.
Yes.
Get your advice ready.
Yeah.
Mandy Len Catron, thanks so much for being with us this morning.